It is always a pleasure to answer your questions, even the nosy ones. I can't count how many times I've heard or read, does your mother-in-law fund your lifestyle? Does your mother-in-law fund your lifestyle? What if she did? Rest. Anyway, I've gotten a ton of finance-related questions over the past couple of weeks. Some of these questions are nosy, okay? But we'll see. We'll see what I can do. So obviously the first one is, does your mother-in-law fund your lifestyle? And the huge answer for the 1 millionth time is no. As unbelievable it might be to some of y'all, she doesn't, right? My husband and I, we pride ourselves in our hard work, and we work so hard. I see how it can, feel like, oh, maybe your mother-in-law, maybe your mom or something are responsible for you getting here and being able to buy a house, you're doing this and that. But I feel like even sharing that house video, I don't know. I do not regret that series, but sometimes I'm just questioning, why are people like this? Because the questions and the vibes that I'd gotten after that, I was just like, well, wake up, girl, you're African, okay? But yeah, I'm still do what I want to do anyway. So that's the answer. She definitely does not in any way, shape, or form. Thank you. Okay, anybody that asks me this question again, I'm just going to refer them to this video. I'm done talking about it, okay? Yeah. Next question, while we are still on the topic of this house, how do you afford your mortgage? Girl, I know where that came from, because it is definitely not a joke. Interest rates, this has led to many people losing their houses. Many families even have broken apart as a result of where this interest rate is going. And honestly, mental health issues, have arrived from the whole state of the market, because money plays a huge role in even our overall well-being. Let's face it, okay? And on that note, I'm going to quickly say thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. BetterHelp makes starting therapy much easier and less intimidating for a lot of people. With BetterHelp, you can access therapy either as a phone call, a video call, or even messaging, just whatever form of therapy that is most convenient for you. BetterHelp can match you with over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists in their network based on your needs, your preferences, your location, and these are things that you might not have access to locally. To get started, all you have to do is just answer a few questions about your needs in therapy, and BetterHelp will match you to the best fit from their network, in most cases within 48 hours. And if at any point during your therapy session you don't even like the therapist that you have been matched with, you can change to a new therapist at no additional cost to you. And that's my favorite feature, because it's just like dating, right? If I don't like you, bye. Anyway, it is a new year, and I honestly want all of us to make sure that we're prioritizing our mental health and getting help exactly where we need it. And there is absolutely no shame in having a therapist. Like, I love how this generation is owning up to it. So if you need the help, today you can join over 4 million people who already use BetterHelp to live a healthier and happier lifestyle. I'm going to leave a link in my description box. It's betterhelp.com/Tolulope. Clicking that link supports my channel, but it also gives you 10% off from your first month with BetterHelp. So go right on and connect with a therapist, and I hope it really helps you. Now, back to the question, guys. We're just really doing what we can and thankful to still have a roof over our head. Last year when we moved into this property, I said a lot about how the valuation of the house didn't even favor us at closing, and we had to raise more cash. And guys, we were really hopeful that by this year things will be looking up and we can take out some equity and we can just relax and breathe. But when I tell you that the whole thing still choked, the valuation hasn't gone up as we expected. Interest rates keep going up. So we already know that the state of this country, North America generally, there are a lot of people just go from paycheck to paycheck. And even though we've always prayed that will not be a lot, because you need extra funds to be able to do stuff, right? But I cannot actually tell you that wasn't what we did last year. It was just everything had where they were going to already. But to the glory of God, we're still able to afford it. And, fingers crossed things will get better. But whatever it is, God supplies all our needs according to his riches and glory through Jesus Christ. So on that, we move. Next question is, do you work a 9 to 5 low key? I honestly feel like this question is in the hearts of so many people, just based on vibes, right? And I've gotten a lot of questions like this, like, how are you an influencer alone, or how much money do you even make in the first place? A lot of people want to know that. I feel like my revenue is not a concern, it's just a wonder for so many people, like, how much do influencers make? And maybe I should make a video on that. But I feel like if you also just do that search on YouTube, there's so many videos like that. So yeah, anyway, to the original question, is that, do I work a 9 to 5 low-key? No, I don't. There was a time that I was probably doing YouTube as a side hustle, or let me just say as a hobby back then. But since I moved into this country 3 years ago, I faced it head on as a full-time business. And prior to then, I did a whole business plan and a 6-month course on, the influencer marketing industry. So that really opened me up to doing this as not just a hobby anymore, but as a business. And to the glory of God, I've been able to find mighty favor, and I'm still finding good favor in doing this as my business. So I'm self-employed, and yeah, that's what I do. I know that when we wanted to also get this house, I was wondering how many self-employed people, especially content creators, go about using their job as an influencer to get a mortgage and stuff. I can't tell you how many influencers I actually messaged. I didn't get a response, and from those I did, it wasn't really helpful. I was asking people that were not from my culture anyway, so I don't even blame them. I see a lot of this. Next question says, I need 60,000 naira to complete my school fees. And you know what? In this case, send me a DM once I'm back on Instagram, and I will sort this one for you. This one, I will sort for you. But I get so many, help me, do this. And again, I don't blame them. I am not ignorant that a few of these are fraudulent, and just people who are trying to, take advantage of other people they see on their grind and working hard. So discernment is really, really key. For most people, I go to their pages, I see, okay, does it make sense? And if it does, a lot of times I've, okay, here you go. This next question is also in the heart of so many people like this. I can feel it. Who makes more money, you or your husband? Are you ready? Nosy Marge. Anyway, the answer simply and truthfully is, it depends on the month or year. My husband right now has a paid employment, even though he's self-employed there. He works as a contractor, but it is also paid because he's on a fixed amount of, hours and stuff. So for him, he has a steady income, which I am so thankful for, because guys, I can't even tell you what I would do if both of us were in this influencer grind, because the instability is crazy, right? At the end of the day, you see a lot of figures. If God is helping you, as he is helping me, but the instability and not knowing when, it's wild. Let me just use last year as an example, right? My highest month was ×9 of my lowest month in revenue. That's how much unstable this world I am in is. But again, I am just so thankful for the stability we get from my husband's job. And it's not like, it is bad if both of us are in full-time entrepreneurship or doing this together. It's not. But I just feel like we're not quite there yet, just because we have little kids, we have bills to be paid, and it's not like we have a huge chunk of savings or mommy's money. Okay, yeah. So I'm so thankful that my husband is able to give us security in that regard. But to answer the original question, it solely depends on the month or the year. There's been months where at the end of the day his salary is way more than mine, and there's been months where I get many deals and mine is more than his. But at the end of the day, we're one. Okay, so there's even not, our money is our money out here. Anyway, I made a whole video on that. Next question is, can you afford more kids? With kids, I've said it before, I don't think kids and money are on the same spectrum when it comes to consideration. Personally, and call me privileged, or maybe I've just, always been taking care of the glory of God. I just feel like money is not my reason for not having kids. Now, I know where that thought line comes from, because now that my son is over 2, we don't all get 10% tickets, okay? So yes, it is. But for me, having more kids is not a matter of money. I don't know if money would even be on that list, but if anything, it will come last as a consideration for why I want to have more kids. And maybe that's not exactly your question, but I wanted to set it straight to say, like, if we decide to have more kids or not, it will not be because of being able to afford them. There are more important things. How emotionally available can we be for all our kids if we choose to have more? Do we have the capacity to raise all of them in the ways that we should, in the ways of the Lord? Do we have the ability to be physically present in all of their life needs? And it's not just at this young age, it's also when they grow up. Like, one has a college graduation, one has a basketball game. We want to raise well-rounded kids who don't really lack parental presence by the grace of God. So it's not about money for us. But to answer your question, simple and short, yes, we certainly can, which is why I'm referring to all these other reasons why my husband is still on the fence. Next question is, if you could do it again, would you relocate? And my answer is in a heartbeat, period. Is YouTube still profitable? For me, it is. For a lot of creators joining every day, it is. In fact, for more creators than less, it is. But unfortunately too, since the rise of TikTok, it's just had a nosedive in terms of views, because people's attention span is no longer fixed to enjoy long form content like YouTube produces. And that's why YouTube brought shorts as well, but the revenue on shorts is not even significant at all compared to long form videos like this. So yes, in the grand scope of things, it is still profitable. If you're asking for me, yes, it is still profitable for me, because beyond the AdSense and YouTube money is also the brand partnerships that I get and I'm able to work on. So in that light, I'll say it is. However, I also know that you either step up your game or you explore other platforms. But yeah, I think making a video on what platforms is more profitable now, and how we get paid from these platforms is also something interesting. But again, I don't know if I have a lot of YouTubers who follow me. So I'm just like, what's the purpose of that kind of content on here? Or maybe I'll do a Q&A on Instagram one of these days about that. So yeah. Next question, which I've already answered, is, does PG work for you? No, it doesn't. Oh man, my man is a whole 9-to-5er. But obviously when he films with me, or when I drag him to do some content with me, he adds to my bottom line in a way or the other. But it's not like he's attached to me or has a role in my business, right? Anything he does on here is a support as my husband. Just like my kids, right? But at this point, because I hear that some influencers have started placing their kids on payroll for them to feature in their business, and I'm still not sure how to feel about that. If it's working for them, I'm always like, if it's working for you, I am the queen of drink my water, mind my business, whatever works for whatever person. But I just don't know how I feel about that. It's something I'm still unpacking and processing. But yeah, I don't pay my kids, obviously, not yet. Last question I'll be taking for today is, who is your money mentor? Right now, the Holy Spirit, my mom. Yeah, that's it, honestly. And it's not the best. I will like to have a money mentor. But you know how you can have a relationship or marriage mentor that, checks on you. You guys are able to talk to them when you have issues and things like that. I feel like with money, you can't really have someone tell you how to spend your money. At the end of the day, that's a huge decision that lies on you, because even if they tell you everything, you can go back home and just be swiping and swiping, right? So for me, it's the Holy Spirit, ever present, ever sure, ever faithful, right? And I can't lie that sometimes I have not even let my flesh override that silence we get from the Holy Spirit sometimes, and I'm just like, I feel like this is a good move, and later I see that okay, maybe silence also means no, or wait sometimes when it comes to money. So I'm also learning. But yeah, if you all know any good money mentor, hook me up, right? Won't be bad. But also, like I said, my mom, it's not like she's checking on my finances or whatever. I'm telling her how I'm spending my money or whatever, but just based on how she's invested over the years and how she's been able to turn over cash and, made the best of her finances, is really, really something that is stuck right here for me. And, I work with that part now. She's the queen of delayed gratification. And now I've had to balance only one life with delayed gratification. Thanks to my husband, I've reached the middle point, because my way is not always the right way, okay? But yeah, that's it. Holy Spirit and my mom for now. But that's it. I will see you in the next one. Let me know if you enjoyed this and you'd like to see more Q&As. Bye.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find a light in your soul. I'll